Innovation is staged by BBVA, and of course this morning we'll have to talk about innovation. Different ways to innovate, like collaboration with the startups, doing joint ventures, or also what we can do is just to create our own startups. We call it venture creation. And with that, we will have the next speaker coming from Muno, our own startup, and we have John Cuervas Mons with us about to talk an amazing topic about insurance. Thank you very much, John, for your participation.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here today. So today we are talking about insurance, so I hope you had enough breakfast. So it's a tough thing. So after working for 3 years in insurance, partnering with many incumbents, leading and creating an insurance startup from scratch, and talking almost every day with our insurance potential customers, I can confirm that there is something broken in insurance. So absolutely, there is something broken in insurance. But the good part of this is that we can fix it, that there is a huge opportunity using digital technologies and internet. So let me start explaining the two main problems of insurance. So first, we have the engagement. If you ask any insurance CEO, they will tell you that they have this problem. They have the engagement problem. Because if you want engagement, you need to build a conversation with your customer. You need to have enough conversation, enough interactions with them. And it's really difficult for an insurance company to build enough interactions working with insurance products, because in the end, if you analyze the insurance products, you have only some interactions that are once a year, twice a year, once in 5 years, or maybe never, because you don't want to make a claim. That's the only big interaction you have with an insurance product. And what they are trying to do, the insurance companies, it's basically trying to interact with their customers using the problem that their product is solving. So it sounds logic, so to do that. But when you analyze that, you see that the problem is accidents, floods, fires, death, diseases. So it's really difficult to talk with your customer in a daily, weekly, or monthly basis about these things. So it's really complicated, and the people don't want to talk about this, don't want to think about their future. So there are a lot of researchers saying that people don't want to think about their future in a negative way. So it's really difficult to talk about these kind of problems in even in a monthly basis, in a yearly basis. So it's difficult to build that conversation. And it's really important, because if we don't have this conversation, it's really difficult to have data. It's complicated to establish a new kind of relationship with your customers. And this is really important if we are talking about digital. The second big problem, which is, I think, also very important, it's that they don't realize that their audience is already digital. So the insurance companies, they are just in the first step of the digital transformation. And they don't think that the people is already digital. But if we analyze that, we are seeing that there is no captive audiences anymore. So I'm going to move the slide. Doesn't work. Let's see. This is the slide. So about captive audiences. So people is shifting their attention. So they are not watching the TV from 9 to 10, watching their favorite TV program. Right now they are doing other things. For example, I have my mother example. She's 70 years old, and she's watching the TV from 9 to 10, but she's playing a game in her iPhone. And she's playing that game of making words with letters, and she's playing with my aunt in a different city in Spain. She's playing with people that she didn't know before, or she didn't know physically. So this is what is happening with digital audiences. And it's important to understand that the digital audience is different because they want to manage their time. So if you see Netflix, so there are more than 2 million Netflix users in Spain, and they can watch their TV series when they want. They can watch Game of Thrones during the whole night, and and that's the way they want to do. They want to manage their time. And there is another good example is, for example, we've been testing a lot the idea of phone calls versus WhatsApp. And we are seeing that messages work much better because people can decide when to answer that message. They can manage their time. It's the same reason. So with a phone call, you call someone and you need to respond directly. So that's very important in this case. So right now I will talk about some solutions, concept, ideas that we are working to face these two big problems. I think that these three ideas that I'm going to talk about are not only for insurance, they can be really useful for other companies, other digital companies that want to do something important here. So basically, I will talk about audiences and community, about products, and about technology. But let me now, I think it's time to introduce Muno, because Muno, it's my startup, it's the startup I've built together with BBVA and with an amazing team that is part of it, at least, is here today. So Muno is a digital insurance platform that is focused 100% on freelancers. And now the three ideas that I will show, I will explain with some examples that we are testing, we are doing right now, and we are seeing that are working against these big problems that I mentioned before. So let me start with the first. It's the idea of the community, the idea of building an audience. So we need to establish a new kind of relationship with our customers. How we are facing the problem of insurance, the idea of we need to create more interaction. So we are trying to understand what is relevant for our customers. We are talking about taxes, we are talking about stories about freelancers, we are talking about health, family. We are establishing an important content strategy using social networks, the blog, because that's the way we can create that conversation. That's the way we can understand our customers, because without that conversation, it's really difficult to understand what are their needs, what are their problems. This is what we are doing here. I have a good example that we are really proud. This is something, it's not easy to explain, but we started 6 months ago with a research. So we decided that we needed to do a deeper research about independent workers and freelancers, what we call in Spain, autónomos. And that research, it was a survey of 35 questions talking about different topics, about life quality, about protection, about how they feel in their work, about community itself. So things that were not just the usual research. We wanted to dig deeper on that. And once we understood and we saw the results of this research, we thought that it was necessary to show these results to the public, to start sending these results to politicians, journalists, to all the people, because it was really important and we could be the speaker of these autónomos, these independent workers. But we didn't stop there. So what we did was to think how we can go farther with all these conclusions. So we decided to write songs about the 10 main conclusions. So we wrote 10 songs and we published an album. And I think we are the only company that writes songs for their customers. So I will show you right now a video with a short version of these songs, because I want you to understand, you need to hear this, because it's really important how it's getting viral, how it's enhancing the community of independent workers, and how it's very important for us too, because it's been a very important impact in terms of PR, in terms of organic traffic to our website. So it's important to see all these songs. Let me show you the video. Music? No music? Let's see. Oh, ahora. Song is talking about the new regulation about autonomous. 88% of the people, they told us that they will vote to an independent workers' party. Problems?
Aunque me duela, aunque me duela, ay, qué dolor. Ay, ay, ay.
Brilliance, brilliance, brilliance. Y salvaje. Brilliance, brilliance. Nunca dejes de soñar.
Es una cosa maravillosa nunca dejar de soñar.
Y es que nunca dejes de soñar. Uno te va a cuidar.
This is the campaign, the research, everything that we've done during the last 6 months about the community, and we've seen that they are using these songs. They are sending each other the songs. It's been the glue of this community. This was something really important for us when we started. We saw that there was a group of people that were independent workers, freelancers, but they needed something to connect, to be able to enhance these people and be or behave as a community. So this is what we are achieving with this research, with these songs, and we are still going in that direction. So after this, just as a short summary, so we started with the community, with the idea of having a conversation with our customers, and right now I want to talk about the product, because the product in digital is really important. It needs to be at the same level of sales. We need to think about the product, we need to work on the product, and in our case that we are an insurance agency, we need to work with the insurance company to create the best product. So we are not just taking a product and selling that product. We want to design that product. And what we are doing here is basically trying to understand the best coverages for our customers, for our group of people, for the autonomous. And in our case, we are removing coverage that are not important. So probably you know that the insurance products, they usually have many coverages that you don't know, and you don't care about that coverages, because it's a way to put a higher price to the product. But what we are doing here is simplifying the insurance product to have only the most interesting coverages and the coverages that are important for our users, for our customers, because we know them very good. And a second thing that we are doing here, which is relevant, is to work in a different kind of model. So we are adding what we call the profit-sharing model, which means that in the case of the insurance product, we have the money that is dedicated to casualties in the product, and when there is money left from that part of the money, we are giving back to our customers. So in the community, if the casualty rate is low, in the end of the year, we are giving that money to our customers. And we have two important things or conclusions about that. The first is that we are letting the customer understand the insurance policy as a community thing, because in the end, it's a community taking care of people. So you are putting money, but that money maybe is not going for you, but it's going for someone in the community that they need help or they have problems. And the second important part of this idea of profit sharing is that we are eliminating the conflict of interest. because sometimes the insurance companies, they have a negative incentive when they need to solve a claim. So when they need to solve a claim, if they don't solve that claim and say no, that money is going directly to their profit, is going directly to the bottom line. So that's a clear incentive to not solve the claims. And in our case, with the profit sharing model, that money, if we say no to a claim, it's going directly to the community. So we are not incentivized to say no, to put problems into the claim evaluation. So I think it's really important to work on these new things, to work on new models on the products. And right now also, I want to share some project of a product that we are working right now. We don't have even the name, but it's a product that is going to be how to give benefits to our freelancers and independent workers. So we are planning to create a product to give discounts, to give some benefits in the services that they are most interested in. And we are basically giving that for free to all freelancers and independent community, not only to our customers, but to all independent workers. Because we believe that we need to start giving value to them. The idea is not this typical business view of saying, I'm extracting value from my customers. I'm not extracting value from my customers, I'm giving value. And after, let's see how we can extract value. But the first option is give value. And this is how we are focusing our company. And after, I'll talk about the last question, the last thing, the last concept, idea. It's how we are using technology. It's how we need to use technology thinking about convenience. Because convenience, it's the key in all digital services and products. We can even create an emotional link with convenience. Look, Amazon. Amazon is doing that. So we have some emotional link with Amazon, and it's based on convenience. So we want to use technology for that. We want to be working on machine learning projects, on artificial intelligence. Focus on that. Focus on making things easier, simpler. So right now we are working on a project which is, the idea is to automate part of the evaluation of the claims process, and we are using a lot of data from claims, and the objective is to automate that process to be able to solve a claim in seconds. Right now we are still on the 20% of the process, but we want to move forward on that, and with this machine learning technology and process, be able to reduce that. I don't know what happened with the sound. Maybe our microphones or... Works? No? I don't know. I'm going to continue. So that's the idea with technology. So we want to use technology for that. So as a summary, I don't know what happened. So let me do a summary right now. So we have analyzed the three ideas that are community, that is the product, using technology for convenience. But if we explain this like shortly, I could say that it's important to build a conversation, to build constant interactions with our customers if we want a real engagement. It's good to focus on the product, so we need to build the best products. And third, we need to use technology to get closer to the customer and not the contrary. So that's really important. And finally, just to end the presentation, and we could go to some questions later. You can stop me if you want, you can make questions. So it's late probably, but we can, I want to answer some questions. So finally, I have a video that explains this idea of enhancing this group to be a community, how we are talking to the independent workers and how we want them to feel part of Muno, or at least we want to build our brand on top of that community. So let me show you the last video.
Esto es un mensaje para los 3.223.286 autónomos.
Somos tantos que si trabajáramos juntos, seríamos la empresa más grande del mundo.
Somos tantos que si viviéramos en el mismo pueblo sería más grande que Madrid.
Y si montáramos un partido, podríamos entrar en el Congreso.
Y si fuéramos un equipo de rugby, nadie se nos pondría por delante.
Y si nos subiéramos unos encima de otros, llegaríamos hasta la estratosfera.
Y si nos fuéramos de vacaciones, nos harían un descuento de grupazo.
Y si saltáramos todos a la vez.
Bueno, ahí no pasaría nada.
Pero tú, sí, tú, que sepas que no estás solo, que somos mucho más que uno.
Y que los autónomos juntos estamos seguros.
Thank you. That's the presentation. Someone want to ask something? Questions? No? Nothing? Okay. No parece. Okay. So that's it. Thank you.